You think you're afraid of failing. That's what you tell yourself. What if it doesn't work? What if I mess up? What if I'm not good enough? But that's not the real fear. Because if you were truly afraid of failure, you wouldn't keep trying. You wouldn't think about changing your life. You wouldn't even be here. The truth is, you're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of what happens if you succeed. Think about it. If you actually succeed, everything changes. Your life, your habits, your identity. You can't stay the same person. And that's scary. Because success brings responsibility, more expectations, more pressure, more eyes on you. No more excuses. No more hiding. No more "I'll do it later." Because now, you have something to protect, something to maintain. And deep down, that feels heavier than failure. Failure is easy. You can explain it. You can justify it. You can stay where you are. But success forces you to grow, forces you to level up, forces you to become someone new. And that's uncomfortable. So what do? You delay. You overthink. You hesitate. Not because you can't do it, but because a part of you is trying to stay safe. Safe in the life you already know, even if you don't like it. And that's the hidden truth. You're not stuck. You're protecting yourself. From becoming more, your brain has one job. Keep you safe. Not successful. Not rich. Not fulfilled. Safe. And to your brain, safe means familiar. What you already know. What you've already lived. Even if it's not perfect. Even if you're not happy. At least it's predictable. At least it's known. But success is unknown. New level. New problems. New expectations. And your brain sees that as risk. So what does it do? It slows you down. It creates doubt. What if you can't handle it? What if you lose everything? What if you fail after succeeding? And just like that, you hesitate. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is protecting you. From uncertainty, from change, from growth. And here's the problem. Your brain can't tell the difference between danger and discomfort. So when something feels uncomfortable, it reacts like it's dangerous. Starting something new, uncomfortable. Taking responsibility, uncomfortable. Leveling up, uncomfortable. So your brain says, stop. Stay where you are. Don't risk it. And if you listen, you stay small. You stay safe. You stay the same. And that's why so many people never grow. Not because they can't, but because they keep listening to a brain that's designed to keep them where they are. But hear the truth. Growth is uncomfortable. Always. There is no version of success that feels safe in the beginning. So if you're waiting to feel ready, you'll wait forever. Because ready means comfortable. And comfortable means no change. So the real question is, are you going to follow your fear? Or move despite it? You say you want more. More money. More freedom. A better life. But look closer. Your actions don't match. You start something. Then stop. You get close. Then slow down. You have an opportunity. And somehow you miss it. Again, and again, and again. And you tell yourself, it just didn't work. It wasn't the right time. I'll try later. But deep down, you know something is off. Because it keeps happening. This isn't bad luck. This is a pattern. Self-sabotage. And the worst part, you don't even notice it. Because it doesn't look like sabotage. It looks like overthinking, waiting, preparing, being careful. But in reality, you're holding yourself back. Right when things start to move. Right when you're about to grow. Because that's when fear gets louder. Not at the beginning. At the edge of change. When things get real. When success becomes possible. That's when your brain steps in and says, slow down. Don't rush. What if this goes wrong? And suddenly, you pull back. You delay. You lose momentum. And eventually, you stop. Not because you couldn't do it, but because you didn't let yourself. And this happens so quietly that you blame everything else. The situation, the timing, other people, but never yourself. Because that's uncomfortable. But hear the truth. You're not unlucky. You're interrupting your own progress. Every time you get close, you choose comfort. You choose safety. You choose the life you already know. Even if it's not the one you want. And until you see this, you'll keep repeating it. Now you see it. You're not stuck. You've been stopping yourself. So the question is, how do you break this? Not by removing fear. That's impossible. Fear doesn't disappear. It just changes. The goal is not to feel safe. The goal is to move anyway. So you start with one simple shift. You stop trusting your comfort. Because comfort has been lying to you. It tells you, wait a bit. Think more. Start later. But you've seen where that leads. The same place. So now, you do the opposite. When your mind says, wait, you move. When it says, not yet, you start. When it says, you're not ready, you act anyway. That's how you break the pattern. Not by thinking, by doing. Small actions, immediate actions. Because action cuts fear. The moment you move, fear loses power. Then you do something even more important. You lower the pressure. You don't try to be perfect. You don't try to handle everything. You just focus on the next step. One step. That's it. Because fear grows when you think too far ahead. All the responsibility, all the expectations, all the pressure. But none of that is real right now. Right now, you just need to act. And then act again. And again. That's how confidence builds. Not from thinking, from doing. And slowly, something changes. You stop running from growth. You start stepping into it. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it's scary. Because now you understand. Fear doesn't mean stop. It means you're moving in the right direction. Now it all makes sense. You were never afraid of failure. You were afraid of becoming someone new. Because becoming more means leaving something behind. Old habits, old identity, old version of you. And that's not easy. Because even if your current life isn't perfect, at least it's familiar. At least you know it. But growth forces you to change, to step into something unknown, to become someone you've never been before. And that's where most people stop. Not because they can't grow, but because they don't want to lose who they are now, even if that version is holding them back. And that's the truth. You can't become more without letting go of less. You can't grow and stay the same. You have to choose. Stay comfortable or become powerful. Stay safe or become something greater. And now, you're at that point. The point where you understand everything. The fear, the hesitation, the pattern, and more importantly, you see through it. So now the choice is yours. You can keep telling yourself, I'll start later. I'm not ready. I need more time. Or you can accept the truth. You'll never feel ready. You'll never feel fully safe. And that's okay. Because growth doesn't wait for comfort. It rewards action. So don't wait. Don't overthink. Don't go back to the same patterns. Because now you know. The only thing that was holding you back was never failure. It was the fear of becoming more. And now, you're ready to move past it.